Hey everyone, I'm back with part three. It's been a few days, I know, but better late than never. So from there, Donald Trump went on to talk about his favorite topic that he likes to get into, which is bashing immigrants coming into the United States. But he went on to say that there are far too many immigrants coming into the United States. He also said that the numbers that are being reported to the American public about the amount of immigrants coming in is inaccurate. He said that the amount is actually higher. That's what he believes, but he did not offer any kind of evidence to validate that claim. He also said that other countries are emptying their prisons and allowing these inmates to come over the border into the United States to claim asylum, which people claiming asylum are vetted. That's absolutely not true. So that's absolutely ridiculous. He didn't offer any kind of evidence of that at all. And actually, when it comes to the border, I want to go ahead and point out here that there have actually been two opportunities for Republicans to actually work with Democrats to get something done on the border this past year. In both February and May, there has been a bipartisan border legislation bill that has come before the Senate, and both times Republicans have sank that bill. That legislation was actually written by both Republicans and Democrats, one of those Republicans being conservative Senator James Lankford, who actually said the bill was the most conservative piece of border legislation to come before the Senate within the past 4 decades. So that's a pretty big deal right there. But Republicans still went ahead and killed that bill. The reason for that is that Donald Trump called them all and asked them to please vote down this bill, don't allow it to come up for consideration, because it would have given Joe Biden a perceived victory on the border within an election year. And he wanted to be able to run on that. So that proves right there that Republicans and Donald Trump himself are not serious when it comes to the border. That bill actually would have increased the number of Border Patrol agents to process immigrants coming over. It would have given increased funding to border states to handle the influx of immigrants coming in. It would have capped the number of asylum seekers. It also would have allowed for the president to shut down the border if the amount of crossings exceeded, I believe the number was 5,000 per day. So right there, that's a lot of what Republicans have wanted, and they decided to go ahead and kill the. And they defeated the bill specifically for the purpose of Donald Trump requesting that from them, because he wants to be able to use it as a political issue, which proves that he's not serious about the border. He doesn't really care about the immigrants coming in or about the well-being of American citizens, however he wants to characterize it. He doesn't care about that. He just wants to use it as an issue so that he can motivate anti-immigrant sentiment and get more votes on the Republican side. Some Republicans actually looking for excuses on why they killed the bill in February. They said that because the bill in February included funding for Israel and for Ukraine in their wars that are going on in their countries, they couldn't support the bill. So Democrats actually went ahead and stripped that funding out of the bill. So that funding is now gone. But then they turned around and in a separate funding bill for Ukraine and Israel, they still went ahead and passed that funding. So that they still got the funding. They just didn't approve the bill that came before them in February. So then Democrats brought a clean, strictly for the border bill before them in May, it was. And at that point, they had the opportunity to vote on that same conservative legislation that Democrats were willing to compromise on with them. And again, they defeated the bill. They didn't allow it to pass, all for Donald Trump. So this was absolutely his doing. He is the one who killed the bill. He even said in a speech, if people question, you can go ahead and blame me for this. Blame me, say that I killed the bill. And that's exactly what he did. After the border bill failed a second time in May, President Biden went ahead and issued his executive order on the border in June. And we actually have seen a major decrease in illegal crossings since then. And actually, the Border Patrol website, cbp.org, says that there's been a 29% decrease in border crossings from May of 2024 through June of 2024. And as of after the executive order that President Biden issued, they say that there has been a 29% decrease in Border Patrol apprehensions. So Republicans weren't willing to play ball with Democrats to actually do something about the issue. They just like to play politics with the border. So President Biden took it into his own hands. It just goes to show that Democrats are actually the ones that are serious about taking care of these issues, and they're the ones who are actually willing to compromise and take action. I'm going to go ahead and end this video there, and I'm going to go ahead and do a part 4 here in just a couple of minutes, because the next topic is going to get into abortion. That's going to take a little bit more time. So thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for part 4.